So Ursula, first, welcome to Stockholm. I know your flight was delayed, but finally you're here.
Yeah.
A beautiful evening. And bearing in mind that you just arrived, you haven't really experienced the Stockholm Film Festival,
No.
but do you have any expectations about the festival?
Yes, about Sweden also, because I remember that my first holidays with my family was in Sweden and in Stockholm. So I passed
Wow.
1 month. I was very young, and it was a family story. So all my film is about family. So I'm very moved to be there because it's my first family holidays. It's my first.
Wow.
We have a big car, and we were 4 children. And so we travel around Sweden during 1 month. So I'm and it's the second time I come here.
Might
so
be an inspiration for a new movie.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows? I wanted to congratulate you, first of all, on an absolutely gripping and touching movie with Sister.
Thank you so much.
And that it's
Thank you
in our competition section, and it's already been awarded and acclaimed. I mean, the Berlin Festival, a Silver Bear, and it's also nominated for Best Foreign Language Film, Switzerland's nomination for the Academy Awards next year. How does that feel?
It's very nice because it's a story about a young boy. He's just 12. It's not a big star, and the film is released around the world. So I'm very happy because the film takes place in Switzerland, but it's a universal story. It's more like a table fare, something like that. A fable, and it's at last more a love story. So, and I'm very happy that the film traveled around the world. So that's very moved me.
Because I thought I'd go back to your first movie, your first feature, which was called, well, in English, Home. And also already there you were highly acclaimed. It was your first feature, and it was also sent to the Academy Awards back in 2009. I mean, for such a young upcoming director, you've managed to really do ambitious films. How did that film, contribute or affect your career onwards?
The last one?
No, the Home, the first one,
Home?
initial one.
Yes, it was amazing because for a first film, it was a big film because it was a big budget with stars, Isabelle Huppert, Olivier Gourmet. We built all the set. It was like a big studio, open big studio, because we built the house, we built the highway, we put the asphalt, and there was sometime 300 cars for the figuration. So it was crazy shooting, and it was a big film. And of course, it helped me to shoot the second one, but it's funny because after the success of my first film, I can work with a star again and to make a very big budget, and it's strange because I decide to make more small film with a child, and when you work with a child as a first character, you take all the risk. Because he's a child, so he can stop when he wants. He's not a professional actor. And I have to work with him a lot of time. When you work with Isabelle Huppert, she's so great actress who just say, we spoke about the characters, the scene and so, but with a child you have to do everything. And he's tired and so, and with the distance now, I think that it's because I like the challenge, because I like to experiment film in my film, to take risk, and but also to move people, because this story, like Home, is a universal story. No, for me, cinema at first is not to give message or to have a very big opinion on the world, and so it's more human. It's just human. When you shoot a film, you just have body of actors, and it's a question of love, this little boy needs so much love during the film, and what interests me at first is human behavior and how it works in our head, in our body. And human are at the center of my film, and I like the character, singular character and strange family, because in Home, in this one, it's a dysfunctional family, and I like the character who don't go in a good way, like normal people. I like when they are different and more marginal in a way.
Because when you say you don't really have any message with your film, that was actually one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, because it feels like you do.
Yeah.
When you portray, you know, the themes of life, there is some kind of message. And looking at Sister, it feels, you know, it's going from deceit to the thirst for love, especially with this boy. He wants the love of his sister, and then he goes and steals from the wealthy. Was there some kind of red thread with showing, you know, the wealthy being arrogant about their things, giving him the chance to steal it, and then trying to get the affection of his sister?
Yes, yes, sure. Yes, the film is question of money also. This is it's very contemporary, because this little boy thinks he can buy everything, even love, and of course not. And of course he wants to take these things to steal, and he resell down with very cheap price to his friends. So he's like a Robin Hood, and at the same time he understands very well how works capitalism, because he made investment on this ski pass. It's like a passport to this world, very rich world. And he wants to become money with this investment. So he steals and he resells, and he have a little business, let me say like that. So he understands very well how capitalism works in our world, and he thinks that he can have elevation, social elevation, and financially elevation. And but he understands that we can't buy everything with money.
But as you're a source of inspiration for up and coming directors, and of course female ones, do you have any piece of advice that you could give them? You know, on their way to become
young director? Or?
Yeah, up and coming young directors, maybe female ones. You know, looking at you and thinking, wow,
yes,
I want to do the same journey.
To follow the desire, because I think that the most important and that we have to protect is the desire. Because after you have a desire, it's very fragile. When you feel because before shooting a film, I need to feel the film in my body. I really need to feel that the film is here, and now I can shoot the film. And it's very fragile, because later it's question of you have a big crew, you have money, it's very technical, it's very practice, you have always problems. So you have to protect the desire, because the desire is a motor of making a film, I think. And you have to be yourself. You have to be crazy also. I think it's important to be crazy. and it's funny, because I decide to make, as when I was young, I made a lot of sport, you know. I love sport, and I made a lot of athleticism, you know. And when I discovered movie, I was 14. When I decided to be a film director, I was very young, and I stopped to make sport like that. And I was very physically, and suddenly I was very intellectual, and I go from body to head. And for me, movie, it's exactly the same, because it's a question of body, it's a question of intuition, and it's not so crazy because sport and cinema, it's not so far, I think, because it's a question of body, it's a question of mise en scène, in a fact, and the relationship between a director and an actor is not so far than a coach with an athlete. He sees you.
Brings out the best of you.
Yes, it's a question of point of view, and it's not so far. And for me, cinema is just body. It's not just dialogue and so, but it's a story you tell with body. It's the first film was a man who just work. Yes.
Interesting.